Hello, my name is Kat, and I wrote a Linux patch series maybe about, 4 or 5 months ago to add support for a certain Qualcomm SoC, specifically MSM8920, because I've been porting the Motorola E4, also known as Motorola Perry, to Postmarket OS because it happened to be lying around in my house. So I spent a couple months of real work on that, um, mostly just solving dumb problems. And I sent the patches off to the kernel mailing list, and I got the ordinary, like, uh, everything's wrong. I'm a noob. And basically, my life got busy right after that. And so I didn't really have time to make all the minor changes, which is fine. I'll pick it up later. Um, and then I got an email yesterday, by a guy going by the name uh, God, Anish Pradhan. I don't know how to pronounce that. Apologies if I screwed up your name. Saying that I'd gotten something wrong about the panel selection and that he had a Motorola Perry with a different panel, which is fine. You know, if someone wants to change some things, pick up my patch set and submit it in. That's their right. It's the joy of open source collaboration. Somebody else can finish your work, and work it was. And then I realized very quickly that Mr. Anish wasn't necessarily there. Rather, it seems like Mr. Anish has just decided, and out of the joy of his own heart, to feed tokens to Claude Code, to take my work and essentially copy paste it really poorly and try to get it into the Linux kernel. Which, it's not just me being like, I hate AI. AI's whatever. LLMs can be useful sometimes. I think maybe they could be a benefit for people if they want to review their code and they don't want to wait for a human in the loop. There aren't a lot of maintainers on this kind of stuff, so sometimes it's an assistant. The problem is he seems to just be using it in a completely agentic workflow, and there is no human in the loop. And so it is essentially copy-pasted my patches poorly directly onto the Linux mailing list, including ones that weren't done, which is why I stopped in the first place. The first thing I got was that there were no users for my new SoC, which was true. I hadn't committed the Perry DTs yet, which are device trees. Basically, the equivalent of a device description if you're watching this and you don't have a technical background in this kind of porting. So, I needed some time to go clean those up, and I just didn't have it at the time. I'm moving. If you want to look, there's my BMW, which I'm currently in the process of putting a new fuel tank into, or at least cleaning up the existing one. I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, so it was a little disappointing, but it seems to have also just caused a mess for me, because it turns out when your little AI code friend goes and copies all my shit, it copies my mistakes too. And so now I have to figure out how to deal with this, and I realize I'm not dealing with a human. There is no human in the loop. He's just burning tokens to make more product faster. And so what are you supposed to do? I've tried CCing all the maintainers on the list, and it doesn't seem like I can get to them because my mail server, running a mail server in 2026 is just horrible. Everything bans you. You have to maintain IP reputation. And generally you spend most of your time just running through all these different, you've been blocked again for random reasons because you're using shared hosting or something, to actually get through to anyone. So I can't actually write a message to the mailing list, so I'm just making this video instead and slap it on YouTube, because to be honest, I don't have the fucking time to deal with this. I'm gonna probably give it like one or two more tries, but if I can't get to anyone, then I can't really tell anyone this is happening. Because I feel like I have an obligation to tell them that they're not dealing with a person. If this was a guy using AI like as a tool to help finish my patches, like I'd be a lot more forgiving. But the fact that he's just got like an agentic workflow that seems to like run without him and like create like thousands of like long ass MD files, probably from like single paragraph long fucking prompts. Really, I don't know. I feel like this is gonna give them like a fucking coronary or something, because for every bug it fixes, it's probably gonna introduce 10 more. Who knows? I don't think it's actually that bad, but still, it's an interesting thing to happen to me, because it really makes me wonder. Like this was the kind of, I guess LLMs have been getting better at software programming over time. I remember when they were like total dog shit and everybody made fun of vibe coded stuff, but like it's getting a little more competent, and so I can see that it can kind of manage my patches or whatever. But it does a horrible job of interacting with human maintainers. It just feels like this drive-by vibe thing. Reminds me of this one Hacker News post from like weeks ago, where like this I think it was like a CJDNS Yggdrasil type project that was allowing people to test using BGP over the internet, and they had this like AI agent come in instead of the actual person and just like attempt to barrage them into doing shit they didn't want to do. And so yeah, don't do this. It's mean. Like, you can use AI all you want, but why like this? How are you going to take maintainership over patches that you didn't make? Are you just going to keep funneling tokens to Claude forever? Yeah, I don't know. That's the weird thing that happened to me. Anyway, goodbye.